Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the green table. There's always some discussion going on between the enjoyers and collectors of classic shapes and those that prefer freehand shapes. And as I say, there's a pipe for everyone, each to his own. Everyone shall smoke or collect whatever he likes. I used to prefer classic shapes by now. When I started pipe smoking and got into collecting, I was fascinated by weird freehand shapes too, but somehow I realized that those are mostly sitting on the shelves, while classic shapes are the ones I really enjoyed smoking more. But again, each to his own. But someone mentioned that classic shapes are just plain boring, and I think that's not the case at all. And as you see, I prepared some of my billiard shapes, the most classic shape and most iconic shape of them all, I dare to say. And I would like you to show the different takes by different makers, manufacturers on the plain and simple billiard shape. And I find it's fascinating what people can do with the strict or rather strict parameters. What is a billiard shape and what they make to make the pipes stand out from the rest. So let's start here. This is a Georg Jensen billiard, filterless. It's as simple as it gets. Ebonite stem, reddish stain, no filter. I think I mentioned that before. Yeah, no fancy ring, no fancy stuff. Just this nice contrast stain that brings out the grain very, very well. Made in Denmark, of course. And I didn't even realize that Georg Jensen is still around. He has a YouTube channel, he has done some interviews recently, and I didn't know how important he is in the pipe tobacco world by now. And he comes out of a family, of a pipe maker family tradition. Let's move on. Here we have a Brigham, the Cadian. I think it's the highest grade of their regular grades. There's the President line and some unique stuff that's placed above it. A matte but polished finish. A rather small, lightweight billiard with an acrylic stem. It has the rock maple filter system, but you can perfectly smoke it without that. And this is a very elegant pipe, super for going for a walk and clenching it, as it is so lightweight, a bit shorter than usual. And here we have a red race billiard out of the Highland series, and it's very likely that the pipe comes out of the same factory as the Brigham ones, as Brigham is very, very likely made by Chacom nowadays. And many red race pipes come out of the Chacom factory too. A slightly reddish orange stain, and it has a real Cumberland stem with a red trace tree scale on it. Filterless. I attached a stinger as I had one left and it did fit. Also a rather short pipe, bit more solid, bit more heavier than the Brigham one. And I think this is classic. The nice Cumberland stem. Here we go to Poland. The Polish pipe smokers call this the McDonald's pipes because of this logo, but it's not an M, it's a W. It's a pipe made by Billiards. They use some unique material for the stems. It's softer than acrylic and more durable than ebonite. Also comes with a metal stinger. And it has a slight curvature on the bottom, I would say. But yet still, very lightweight, superb clencher, elegant pipe. And very unusual because Billiards used to make larger and a bit bulkier pipes. Another pipe from Poland, a Mr. Brook limited edition billiard, acrylic stem. And for the pipes that I actually smoke, I prefer acrylic stems because they're simply more durable. They need less cleaning. And this pipe has a sandblasted finish, but it seems they sandblasted it and then they polished it again, as it is Very, very smooth on the outside. Gives it a unique appearance. Here we have one by Brabia, a pipe that I was looking for a very long time, as I love pipes with this trademark deep Brabia rustication, but never did I find just a simple billiard shape. It's a Lido. It must be quite old as it still has the tiny gnome stamped on the bottom. You see it almost looks like tree bark. It's a two-tone stain. It's red on the upper parts and black on the lower parts. I think they gained this kind of look by flaming the pipe, but I'm not sure. White plastic ring, vulcanite stem with the Brabia logo, and a very unique stinger system inside. And yeah, I like the feel of these pipes. I kind of like rusticated pipes because they have a unique. They give another dimension to it. You have the pipe smoke, you have the looks of it, and with rusticated pipes, you have the feel of it as well. Here is an example by Peterson. It's a very large pipe, although not that heavy. Meerschaum lining. It doesn't go to the bottom. Ebonite stem with this unique shape. And this gives the pipe a whole different appearance than the other billiard pipes. Filterless. And this pipe is made, although it is stamped Peterson, it's made by Manx or Lexey Meerschaum Company located on the Isle of Man. And you also see the male symbol on the stem. All pipes made by this company have this logo. So I had to make a little cut here as I received a phone call. The next pipe is a CPA pipe, Connoisseur Pipes Austria. And this pipe is made out of pear wood. So you see you don't necessarily have to use briar. It has a slightly different grain than briar, and it's very, very lightweight. Here we go to Frost. It's a Chacom. It's a bit shorter than the others, has this flashy yellow stem. I think nacre. It shall resemble nacre. Not sure if it is the correct word. It has the old CC logo on the stem. Jeans is the line. Very nice grain, but also many fills. And as you see, the pipe has its bowl forward canted. And I was told this is more with US pipe makers, while the European tradition demands a 90-degree angle with the bowl. It also has a metallic filter tube inside. And this is my summer pipe. Don't smoke it during winter, just in the summer sitting in the garden. It's so nice and lively. Yeah, I'm a pipe tart, you know that. Here we have a Denicotea pipe. A German retailer. Probably this pipe was made in England by the Dunhill factory. But it's hard to tell as they had different sources for their pipes. But it's a well-made, large billiard, ebonite stem, and if you see, the stem consists of two parts. One can hold a 9mm filter or the Denicotea crystal filters, and the other holds a stinger. So this pipe has both systems in one. Haven't smoked it yet. Here is a pipe by Admiral, and the Admiral brand was the house brand of a Austrian-based wholesaler that had connections all over the world. They had factories all over the world, from Greece to London to France, and also connections to the USA and Israel. They were quite big in the pipe world, but they faded into obscurity and are completely unknown these days. Sandblasted, also two-tone, red and black, a metal ring, a very thin ebonite stem, and this is a 9mm pipe. Yeah, nothing more to say. Haven't smoked it yet, but it seems to be a very good clencher because of this very thinned out stem. Back to France. These are two pipes by Guinaud. This one here resembles the typical old school French pipes with a real horn stem, although this pipe is 9mm, and it has a flattened out bottom, so it's a sitter too. Very massive pipe, very old school. Here's another one by the same company. It's the granite finish. Quite fitting. Yeah, we see why this pipe was sent to the sandblaster. But the Ginot pipes are not that expensive and they are very nice smokers. Ebonite stem, 9mm filtered, a solid, rugged looking masculine pipe, I'd say. 2 pipes by Butschuk, and both pipes have exactly the same dimensions. So you see in the pipe company the specifications to make a billiard are very, very strict. This one here was a smooth pipe and has these zigzag rustication added, plus an acrylic fancy stem. One of the first pipes I purchased 10 years ago. And honestly, I wouldn't purchase such a pipe again because it's a rather cheap trick to gain attention for a rather ordinary pipe. But it's a good smoker. Nothing to add. This one here is special. It's from the Exotic line, BC. And as you see, this is some African hardwood. It has, or darkened a lot on the front. When it was in the store, it had a bluish greenish metallic stain that now faded, but you can still see the shine of the wood. It has a meerschaum insert to make it smokable. And yeah, I wasn't that careful, so that rim darkened a lot with lots of ash and lava added. If I would buy such a pipe again, I would fill it only 3/4 of the bowl to keep the meerschaum better visible and give it a more cleaner look, even after several smokes. Then we go on another Chacon pipe. A classic billiard, as classic as it gets, with a acrylic stem, and this one is the Chacon twin bore. As you see, it has 2 air channels that go into one. Also 9mm filtered. A German brand, Design Berlin, was famous for using these twin bore stems, but several companies used such stems now and then. And the original idea was to make the stems bite proof, because heavy clenchers, heavy smokers used to bite through the stems here in the middle, and with a twin bore the stem was supposed to be more durable. And I think the twin bore is a unique smoking experience, so if you can lay your hands on one, give it a try. I think K. Woody also used this system, and some Italian makers as well. It really increases the amount of taste you get from the smoke. A little bit. Next one is a Peterson whiskey. Also very elegant. Silver band, or rather 2 silver bands. Nice grain. And of course it comes with a Peterson P-lip. The P-lip is more suitable for bent pipes, Hungarian style pipes. But yeah, it also works on a straight pipe, also 9mm filter. Rather long pipe. Not much to say here. Here's a unique pipe by Savinelli, the Pigna. Pine cone. Quite obvious why they chose this name. Natural finish. No stain, no coloration. It came with a glittering green stem, which I replaced with a nice red Cumberland stem. That makes the pipe more fitting. Love to smoke this pipe outdoors when in the woods. And as you see, it gains some coloring from smoking, but just on one side. The other side stayed much more brighter. This is the miracle of Briar, where the fluids and liquids and the nicotine goes, there it colors first. And the last one for today, Savinelli Puro with a 6mm filter system. Has some nice flame grain. Really looks like a flame. Metal ring, and this is no Cumberland stem. This is acrylic with red swirls on it. As I said, 6mm filter system. Also very thin, so it's a good clencher. And yeah, the purpose of this video was to show you just one shape and what you can make out of one shape. I hope this video wasn't boring. A lot of pipe tarding. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Cheers.